Hi guys, welcome to my channel Vinyl Beauty, welcome back. I'm Debbie if you don't know me. So for today's video I'm going to be creating multiple looks, not sure how many yet, with the Gourmande Girls Calavera palette, which is their latest palette that they've brought out to celebrate Day of the Dead. It was their spooky release of the season and super pumped to get it because I've not bought much Halloween makeup this year. I've been waiting for the Melt collection and for the Glamlight horror collections, so I've resisted temptation, but when I saw this one I was like, yeah, I need this one. I'll show you why I think this is so special. So there's only 5 shimmers in here and then there's matte with sparkles. The rest are all matte, but I love, if you take it sort of diagonally from corner to corner, how you've got the light and the dark there. I love a palette that's got a black and a white, lots of lighter shades that you can sort of create contrast with, and lots of murky grungy shades. It just really stood out, and there's a couple of really special shimmers, like marbly shimmers in here, that will go with lots of looks. There's also a red, there's a deep purple. It's all the sort of colours that I really enjoy, and I think this would take you pretty much all season really. You could go right through until Christmas because there's some twinkles in those shadows. You could do spring looks even because you've got pastels in here. It's just really versatile. It's the biggest palette I've ever done, with having 25 shades in here, but it's not that massive that it feels like bulky or anything. It's thin. It's really beautiful packaging as well. The cover art has been done by Angela from Doodles by the Bunny as well. They've got a brilliant collaboration going on between the two of them there. The packaging is always fine, and I love to support brands that are using proper art and not AI generated art, which is why I haven't picked up anything from Ensley Rain, if you wonder, because I just can't support that. I just think that doing AI related art is killing the creativity of artists, and obviously they're not getting paid either. So that's why I haven't bought anything from that brand, although I love the look of the palettes they've done. But this is, as I say, proper designed art by Doodles by the Bunny, and is gorgeous and really sums up the whole vibe of what's inside as well, with the sugar skull. So without further ado, I'm going to scooch you in. We're going to get started on look number 1. I'm not sure if I'm going to do 2 looks or 3 looks in this video. Depends how much time I get. There's so much scope, I feel like I can't just do one look when you've got 25 shades. So I really want to play with it. As I say, there's some reds in here and I was going to dive into that first, but I've got a plan for today and I'm going to go a bit more unexpected. So I'm going to bring you in and let's get started on look number 1. Guys, so for the first look I'm going to be sticking with these shades in this column here. So the green, the kind of dusty kind of murky purple here, and the black. I'm going to be using this marble shimmer, which is really special. You won't be able to see on camera all the shifts in it, but it really is something else. And I'm going to be putting that green, that really neon shade, as my inner corner shade. But I'm going to do a halo eye today. Always if there's a black in a palette I like to try it out, so I'm going to be doing that today. So I'm going to just prime with my Sigma eyeshadow base in Persuade. So I haven't decorated my beauty room this year, you probably noticed, for Halloween. I was going to do it last weekend and we started to declutter in here and move everything, because I've got so much stuff. I keep packaging and I just don't throw anything away, so in the end I've run out of space. I've had to declutter a lot of packaging, not actual makeup, but it took us so long, and then we started doing the rest of the house and I'd run out of time. It took us all weekend last weekend just packing away all of our garden furniture and then starting on decluttering the house. And then my husband said, do you want to get all of the decorations done? And I was like, well, by the time I get to film it'll be the middle of October. I only have 2 weeks for them to be up, and I didn't want to make everything messy again, because everything that's on the shelves now would end up back on the floor again. So I'm not going to be decorating this year, but it's kind of spooky in the background anyway, apart from Betty Boop over there, but we'll be replacing her soon. To start off the look I am going to go in with this shade over here, which is a very light lilac shade, just to give me something to blend into. And I've got a fluffy brush. This is a Sigma E40. Just recently picked up Batty Bean's set from Sigma because my Sigma brushes were literally falling apart. I've had them since I started taking makeup seriously, and so they're about 5 years old, and all of the paint keeps falling off the handles. They don't look very nice. They still work obviously, but I do like to support Betty Jean. She's one of the OGs that I watched when I first started doing YouTube, and I really look up to her in terms of the looks that she creates, and also her work ethic and everything that she achieves with both her salon and her channel as well, so I always try and use her codes where I can and support her, and I wanted to pick up the brushes for ages, and then Sigma had a 20% promotion using an influencer's code, so I was like, now's the time. And they were giving a free highlighter away. And that highlighter, oh, I'm going to be using that in the next look. It's beautiful. Alright, next up I'm going to go into this murky purple shade. It's such an interesting tone. It's the one that my eye went straight to when I opened up the palette, which a palette full of colourful shades is probably a bit of a strange one, but I definitely saw that and thought, yeah, I can see a look I can do with that. So that's going in the inner and outer quite high up because I want this to be a dramatic look, and as I say, I am going to layer some black over it as well. I've never owned this brush. This is the E27. As I say, I've followed Betty Jean forever and I've seen her use this brush a lot, and it's one of the reasons I wanted this set. I've gone in a little bit heavy here, so I have got a little bit of fallout, but it doesn't matter too much because it's the kind of shade that I've used on my cheeks. As I say, I'll let you know what cheek products I've used for this look when I've finished this look, but it's nothing new. It's a couple of old favourites. One in particular I've had many years. That's going on super opaque, as you can probably see. I did see Brittany Ray's video on this palette and she had so much trouble with it. She must have had a bad palette because she's normally able to make anything. I mean, she more is into her neutrals and colourfuls, I think, but even so, she was having such a bad time even trying to swatch her palette, so I think there must have been something faulty with that one because it's going on fine for me. Just trying to get the overall shape somewhat similar. So probably end up being a long video because I can't seem to do looks quickly, but hey. Alright, I'm going to just drag that under the lower lash line and connect up just in this outer corner. What I'm going to do is a halo eye, but I'm going to have the purple on the outside and the green on the inside. I'm not really going to connect them up too much. I might blend this out with the first shade that we used. As I say, I want it to be dramatic and dark. I feel like the looks I've done in recent times have been very safe because I haven't done much YouTube, so everything I've done has been looks for work or just going out generally in my own life where I don't tend to wear quite such vivid makeup, to be honest. It's a creative outlet for me, in case you didn't know, so I don't go out in these kind of looks on the daily. My husband hates it. I'm just going to use that E40 that we started with just to blend around the edges. Take a bit more of that lilac-y shade that we started with just to really start to blend that out. So we are going to go in and deepen with the black as well. I nearly dipped into the wrong one then. I nearly dipped into the black to do the blending. That would not have been a good effect, would it? Makeup have you guys bought for like spooky season? What's caught your eye? There's been, as I say, a lot. Bella Beauté Bar have brought out two beautiful palettes and I'd love to own both of those. It's just, you can't buy everything, guys. You know, I buy all of my makeup, I don't get any PR, so I have to really be careful what I choose to buy because most of the makeup that I enjoy as well is US based indie brands, so you've got to factor in the shipping. But Bella Beauté Bar's Vamp palette is right up my street. I love those sort of reds, silvers, blacks, greys, all of that. It's totally my jam, so I want that one, and the Poison Garden as well. It looks absolutely gorgeous. What I'm going to do with this look is try and like bring it almost into where my blush is. So I'm really going to blow this out, and I might have to go back and forth a bit until I'm happy with the intensity. So I'm going to take a bit more of the purple shade now and just pack a bit more of that on. Just keep packing and blending until I'm happy with how deep it is. But I'm not having any issues blending this out. It's looking really nice, I think. Any fallout that I have had has blended away really well. I need to be careful with that black though. So I'm going in with this shade called Earth here, this dusty green, dusty in the best way, you know. It's And a unique, it's not a grass green, it's a unique sort of shade of green. A spooky green, shall we say. Keeping that a bit more concentrated on the lid to start with. So I don't really have a shade to blend that out with. Unless I use the white, because I don't want the neon to blend it out with. And I've gone a bit too far into the corner where I wanted to put the neon, but we can always put some white over. I start with a plan and then it evolves as I go along. I don't know if you guys are the same. So I want to take that sort of touching that other shade, but not completely, so that we don't have any problems with them muddying up. I think I've got a plan for what I want to do with the neon shade now. Just thought of something. Got an E38, it's just a smaller version of the E40, just to blend this shade around the edges. I'm just blending it on the lid as well. Just want to get a soft wash of this colour really. Okay, I think that's nicely blended and it's kind of what I wanted there. Just taking that same shade on a pencil brush just on my lower lash line, so we're just replicating the same on the bottom that we've done on the top. So what I've decided to do is take my jumbo pencil in milk, put it on my middle of my lid, use that neon shade and then pack a bit of shimmer over the top of that. And that will be a way to test out that neon shade. And as I say, I am going to deepen it with the black in the inner and outer. Okay, so taking Vida, which is the green neon here, just going to pack that in the centre of my lid. Just pressing that on. Oh, that is vibrant. That is really pretty. I think this is going to work really well because then the shimmer will have something to sit on, and it'll also help us hide the join between the different mattes, because I don't want to blend this neon too much because they don't really blend. Any neons are better packed on. That is vibrant, isn't it? Hopefully it's coming off on camera as vibrant as it is in real life, because it's truly beautiful. Taking that original brush we started with, just through the crease a little, so I don't want to take that neon up too high, so I just want to just dust away in the crease there. I'm just going to pop a little bit of glitter primer on each lid, and I'm just going to use my finger just to pat that in. And then we're going into this really special shade here and packing that over the top of the centre of the lid. I'm just going to pack that over the neon. It is a bit more of a flaky shade. Definitely going to benefit from having that glitter primer underneath, but it's applying really nicely and taking on the hue of that neon that's underneath it as well. I think that's really beautiful because we've got the vibrancy of the neon, but we've still got a shift in that shimmer as well, giving us that sparkle. I do want a tad more depth though in the outer corner. I'm going to go into the black and take that on a pencil brush so I've got some control. Really tapping off my brush and then packing that just on the lid in the outer corner. And I'm angling that a little bit across that shimmer as well, just to give us a bit more depth there. Almost like a liner situation, but not. And that's definitely amped up the intensity. This is a nice black, it's layering really well. I'm not getting any fallout, but I am tapping the brush really well as well. But it's layering really impressive over that shimmer. I'm just going to take a touch of that just on the lid in the inner corner as well. Not too much, but just to amp up the intensity just a little there. I'm just going to take a bit of the white called Sugar in my inner corner, just for a little bit of brightness there. Again, that's a good white, because I haven't laid anything down to make that pop and it's sitting over the top of that green. I just wanted to just lighten things up just a little in this inner corner, which I don't always do, but I thought we'll try and use as many shades as we can, and it's giving that ghosty kind of feel to it. Okay, I think that's it for the shadow. So I'm going to hop off camera to put something in my waterline, do my mascara and a lip, and I'll be back with you to show you look number 1 and to let you know what's on my cheeks as well. Okay guys, so this is the finished look for look number 1. I really love how dark and mysterious it is. It's very witchy vibes, isn't it? And to keep that vibe to it, I decided to go for a black waterline. So I've got Nabla's Cupid Stylo number 4 in my waterline. And then for lips today, I've got a bit of a combo. So I've got this one from the Haunted Mansion collection, which is called Witcher Ride. And then I've got this one from Melt, which is one of their lip stains, and it's in the shade Muse. And I'll just tap that over the top for a little bit of green sparkle. And then that's the look. And then my cheeks, of course, so I'll tell you what I've used there. I don't even know if these are available anymore. This is by Cover FX, and it's in the shade Mulberry. And it's the only like dark, cool toned blush that I own. I used the glowy side of it. Love this. And then for highlight today, I've gone in with the Noctilucent palette by Bunny and used the shade Far Out, which is the purpley one there. So yeah, really cool look, I think. It came out a lot better than I thought it might do. I love that neon on the lid and then packed with that shimmer over the top, because it's picking up the vibrancy of the neon from underneath. But then you've got all the glisten and sparkle of that really special shimmer that's got lots of like reflective particles of glitter, but very smooth glitter. You know I don't like glitter on my eyes, so you can't feel it. It's not gritty, but it's very glittery and sparkly and really, really beautiful. So yeah, I hope you like look number 1. Let's jump into what will be the next day for me and look number 2. Okay guys, on to look 2 then with the Calavera palette from Gourmande Girls. It's been more than a day, it's now a week later, and I'm running out of time to film multiple looks with this. It's just been a really busy week with work and lots of other things going on in my life, so I think the only way I'm going to get through some other palettes is to just make this a 2 look video, which is a bit sad to me because there's so many looks in this palette, but we can always revisit it. So what I'm going to do today is I want to do a dramatic smoky eye. So I want to do this black shade with sparkles on the lid. I'm going to use this shade in the crease and blend into the orange and the yellow. So very much a pumpkin kind of spice look today. So I want to give the shades something to adhere to and really make that black as opaque as possible. So I'm going to use my Cupid's Stylo number 4 from Nabla, the black one, as a base on my lids. And these are great because they're pretty easy to blend out. Obviously when you're using a pencil on your lids like this as a base, you need to work reasonably fast before it sets down. So I'm just going to smooth that out on the lids. I've only taken it on the actual lid. Don't want to take it up too high, otherwise I won't have any room to blend some other colours. Might just need a little bit more though. Just taking it kind of slightly into the crease. I tried to fake that my eyes are slightly bigger than they are, or my lid space is, by going slightly higher than my natural crease, and that's what I'm trying to do here. Obviously we're going to be setting this with eyeshadow anyway, which will make it more opaque, but I really wanted to make life easier for myself to get that opacity with the black, so I don't have to go in too heavy-handed with the black and get lots of fallout. Okay, so now I've got that black base down, I'm going to go in with the Sigma eyeshadow base in Persuade over the rest of my eye area, because I'll still need something here to blend my shadows into. So I'm sort of going to create a blend of those 2 eyeshadow bases. I'm going right up high because I'm going to take this look right up to my brow bone. I'm just going to blend the 2 of those together just where they meet. And it doesn't matter too much what that looks like because we are going to be covering this in shadows in a moment. It's a very strange way to start a look, I know, but I think it will make things a lot easier in the long run. Just swap brushes just to blend out the remainder of this eyeshadow primer because I don't want to get the black taken all the way up high, and I've got some black on the brush. So we're going to start with this rusty red shade in the crease now. So this is an Angie Hot and Flashy brush from BK Beauty, it's the A504. So I'm just tapping that shadow into the crease to start with, just to cover almost that line that we have between the 2 primers that we've laid down, and to give us a transition into the orange that I want to use in the look. As I say, I'm coming up pretty high. I'm not looking to blend this really at the moment, I'm just tapping to cover that join between the two primers. So how have you guys been? I've been to see a couple of movies at the cinema this week, one of which was Salem's Lot, and oh my god, it's so good. I love vampire movies anyway. It's kind of creepy but funny in places as well, and you really care about the characters in it, and ticks along at a fair old pace, so it's not boring at all. I just really enjoyed that movie. I thought it was so good. And I'm not good with like horror that's really like too gory, but it really wasn't too bad, and yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was such a good time. And I went quite early. I went at like 6 o'clock, so I went straight after work. So I have 2 days where I'm in the office, and so I finished work at 4. I got down to where the multiplex is. It's also a shopping kind of centre as well, so I had a bit of time just to mooch around the shops before I went and saw the movie at 6, and it was really nice to do things like that. I always go to the cinema pretty much on my own, although we're going to see Wild Robot tonight, me and my husband. Right, so now I'm going to do the black last, setting the black shade. So I'm going to go in with the orange now and a bit bigger brush. I'm going to be quite liberal with this orange, and I'm going to go pretty much 50% on, 50% off of where I put that red shade. And really start to get some orange in this look now. I love orange eyeshadow. I love orange lipstick, orange blush, orange eyeshadow. I think it really suits like my skin tone as well, so I definitely knew I wanted to do an orange based look with this palette, and I really wanted to do something dramatic with it as well, because it's Halloween, right? You can get away with it at Halloween, can't you? I think there'll be more orange looks coming, to be quite honest, because I'm going to order the Glam Light Trick or Treat. We've not seen everything yet. We've seen the palette, the lip kit and the mirror. Oh my god, the mirror is so good, and I love that they're presenting everything in a burlap sack. I mean, that's just brilliant, isn't it? And I sorted out my issues that I've got with the Halloween 2 collection where I couldn't order the mirror. I think I told you about this in my last video or my last look, but Glamlight were brilliant with that, so they cancelled the original order. I got the money back like 2 days later, and I've ordered the full PR kit and the knife mirror as one order, so I've avoided paying shipping twice. And as I say, I got a direct message from Giselle, the owner, as well, based on my Instagram post that I'd made. You can't really say fairer than that, can you? I mean, they do seem to have an issue being able to get everything on the site quickly, particularly for people in the UK, and I think it's because of like product restrictions to the UK. I'm loving how orange this is. Oh wow. It won't look particularly blended, I don't think, until we get the final shade on the lids, and then I'm going to do some orange on the lower lash line, but I'm going to do brown, I think, in the waterline, because I've got rich brown from Melt that I want to try out. But I'm loving how this palette is performing. I'm going to take the yellow shade now, this one, just to further go up to the brow, because I want to use all of my eye space. This is a pretty dramatic look to be going out with my husband in. As I say, I think he prefers me in neutral, kind of classy, pretty makeup. I don't know how much more filming I'm going to get done. Work's been just exhausting, to be honest with you. We've been so busy. We've had a member of staff off as well, which hasn't helped. And I've just been exhausted in the evening. So, as I say, I've been to the cinema twice this week. The other days I just didn't really want to film because I was just so tired. So we'll see how it goes, but I've got my sister-in-law coming to stay with us from the Isle of Wight next weekend, and she likes spooky movies, so I've bought the film Abigail, which I never caught at the cinema, but it looks good. It's one about the vampire ballerina girl. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about, but we're going to see that because she won't have seen it. I don't think she goes to the cinema, and it's not out on release anywhere streaming yet in the UK. So I bought that on Blu-ray for us to watch. Okay, now we're going to use this black with sparkles and put that on the lid where we had that black pencil primer. I'm just going to press that on the lid. I don't want to get any fallout if I can help it. So I'm just pressing, being very, very careful because I've done my base makeup first, which is what I always do. I think we're getting away with it. I don't think I'm getting too much fallout. I can never make sparkles in these. Mats with sparkles show up very well. You can just about see them in real life, but I don't think you'll be seeing them on camera. I'm just going to go back through with the colours we've used before. So back with that original kind of rusty shade, just to blend into that black now. Make sure we've got everything as deep and dark and dramatic as we can. And then back through with the orange as well. And that way we'll get it as blended as I can do it. I'm not the best blender in the world. Good is good enough, right? I've just got a brush with no additional product now. Just want to just blend out this orange just a little bit more towards my nose here. Just diffuse that just a little bit. Okay, next up we're going in with this eye pencil. It's a waterline pencil from Melt and it's in the shade Rich Brown. I didn't want black, I just thought with all of this orange that's going on that a rich brown colour might be a little bit more flattering on the lower lash line. Just going to blend that out just a little. I've just got the brush I used for the orange shade here, sorry, for the yellow shade. Just wiped it off a bit. It's a Sigma E42. Using that just to blend out that pencil. It almost looks black, to be honest, but it's just a little bit more forgiving than black, I think. Making sure to connect that up in the outer corner. And I'll just wipe that off on a makeup towel so I can keep using that same brush. And I'm just going to use that now to go around the edges with the orange. I'm not using the reddish tone. Don't want to come down too far, although this is going to be a blown out look. And I want heavier focus on this outer corner. I'm just further blending that out just with a brush with no additional product. Always want it to meet up with the blush that I've got going on. I will list what I've used for blush and highlight in my description box. The highlight actually is a new one I've got from Sigma. I ordered Betty Jean's brush set and I got it free with purchase and I love it. So I'll link that one. Or not link it, list it. I don't link things. I wasn't going to do an inner corner highlight, but I'm kind of tempted to use this shade which I've not used yet. So I might just pop a little bit of that in the corner and hope I don't ruin things. Quite a flaky little shade, so we'll see how this goes. But oh, that's so pretty. It's got like fiery sort of flecks in it, so it does suit the look. Oh, that's super pretty. I don't know if you can see it just glinting there, but it is adding just a certain something in that corner. It's really, really pretty. It just looks like fiery tears in the corner of my eyes. Oh, that's so pretty. Right, so that's the look to this point. Just going to hop off camera for mascara and a lip, and I'll be back with you to show you the finished look. Okay guys, so this is the finished look. Love how it turned out. It's very pumpkin queen, I think. I've got my pumpkin t-shirt on. I'm feeling the Halloween vibes in this look. And to finish it off, I've gone in with a Black Moon Cosmetics lipstick. First time I've ever tried Black Moon. I ordered 7 lipsticks from them this year. Every year I get tempted by all the eyeshadow and these fall by the wayside and I never get them, and I've wanted them forever. This is the trio, like the sort of more autumnal trio that they do, and this is the shade Harvest. I've also got Cider, which is the yellow one. I'm so excited for that one, and the green one as well. So I've got a couple of spooky sort of ragey tones. I've got the black Sleepwalker and I've got a red as well. So really excited to show you those in forthcoming looks. But obviously this is all about the Calavera palette. I've had a blast playing with this. I just wish I'd got more time and more energy to put into my YouTube channel right now so that I could have done some more looks with this. I promise you I'll be playing with this some more. Although this is a spooky palette, I think you could use this at any time of year, and there's just so many options for the sort of makeup that I like to do. It goes light to dark, it's matte heavy, the mattes are blending beautifully. I'm terrible at blending. I think this has come out pretty good, but the shimmers that they've chosen are special. Like, you could layer them over things and really make a good look. I haven't used the three kind of main shimmers, the three in the middle that are shimmers. I've just used the toppers, and that flaky kind of topper in my corners of my eyes is just magical. It's one of these that will like sort of shatter on your eyes, and you'll probably need to use your finger to like smooth it out, but in the inner corners it looks like little fiery glitter tears. It's so beautiful. And then you see me use the one at the bottom there as well in look number 1. Haven't used the other shimmers, and I've still got so many more mattes to play with, but it's perfect for spooky season. But as I say, this could take you into spring. You could do Christmas looks. You could do all sorts with this because there's so many tones in here and all the sort of tones that I love. So I'm absolutely delighted I picked this one up. I've been very selective this year of what eyeshadow I've picked up. I've picked up lots of other things, but really not bought that much eyeshadow, and I'm trying to find things that are special that add something to my collection, and I absolutely think this does. As I said, I have bought the Glamlight Halloween 2 collection. It's not even shipped yet, so that won't come before Halloween, I don't think. And I'm going to buy the Trick or Treat just because I love like collecting those horror collections. But other than that, I've really not bought much, as I say, eyeshadow wise. And I've spent more of my money on lipsticks, and I've got some skincare to show you. I've got all sorts of things. So I'm going to make a video on some of the other things I've been buying pretty soon so that you can see those things as well. But that's all I've got for you in this video. It's probably been a bit of a long one because I've taken my time with the blending, tried to really elevate my looks a little bit. I still feel like I lack in some areas of talent with makeup, and I'm trying really hard to push myself to create the sort of looks that I see other people doing that I wish I could do. And the only way to do that is to practice and take your time, I think, and push yourself, as I say, out of your comfort zone. So hope you've enjoyed the 2 looks in this video, and thank you just so much for watching and being patient with me when I only upload once a week. Even when I say I'm going to be coming back, it's only once a week at the moment. So just thank you guys, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye guys.